Hinuera Natural Stone. Today we're talking about a building material that we're using on this Home on the Edge build. It's an iconic material unique to this province. It's a building material that's shaped everything about the land that I'm standing on right now, and for as far as the eye can see. This building material once flew across the landscape at supersonic speeds, obliterating all signs of life and structure. This building material has even changed the course of a river, specifically this one, New Zealand's largest and mightiest. And we're going to be using it in this home build. Today's topic: Hinuera Natural Stone. We're going to be journeying up the Waikato River to the Hinuera Natural Stone quarry, which is located a mere volcanic stone's throw from the building site that we're on right now. You'll hear a little bit about the volcanic forces that have shaped and formed the stone. You'll get a rare look inside the Hinuera Natural Stone quarry. You'll get a tour of the processing plant where giant slabs of Hinuera stone are sawn and split into the products that we're going to be using on this build. And you'll see the inside of a mason's workshop where one of the stonemasons there is working on quite an incredible monumental sculpture. You're watching an episode of the Home on the Edge construction series, and today we're a home on the edge of a volcano, albeit an extinct one, or possibly dormant. But either way, it's a little bit nerve-wracking.
Hinuera stone is a volcanic product. It's basically the byproduct of volcanoes near Taupo that flowed down from Mangakino, eventually altered the course of the Waikato River and ended up in this valley here. So the sediments of that volcanic flow are Hinuera stone. It altered the course of the Waikato River, the volcanic flow, and ended up through this valley here, which of course you can see the other side there. So we're literally standing in the riverbed.
After the stone's been brought down, it'll be put on a tray and then brought through to the 2.7, which is this big saw. Slices it up into the height of the stone that you're gonna cut it into. This is a small block. They're usually 2.4 by a meter by a meter. It's tungsten, carbide and diamond tips. It's hardened steel and the diameter is 2.7 wide. This one will last 12 months. Yeah. Ore will come through here. Then the billets will be loaded onto the docking saw here, and so we just run it through, cut it to length, run it down the line, and then chuck it through the guillotine. We've got a few projects going on at the moment. There's a bird bath, and it's essentially just a raw block, and we've sliced it in the middle, hollowed it out, and put a bowl on the top of it. So that's it here.
So you're telling me that this thing here is a bird bath?
Yep.
For princes and kings of birds?
Yes.
Fantastic. And how do you go about creating that shape?
What we've done is we've just put it through one of the saws, sliced it up, and then used the coring bit over there to hollow it out. The bowl, that's done just using a grinder, and we've created a template here. So that, just so you can gauge it right. And that's basically it. Just needs a bit of cleaning up and be ready to go.
So how many hours of work do you reckon getting something like this all prepared is?
At the moment, it's been probably about 6 hours. It's probably got another couple in just cleaning it up. Yeah. It was originally just one block, and then sliced into 4 pieces, so that the guys at the other end they can move it around.
And how did you learn this little craft?
So I started back in 2010. I came in here, and at the time he was old school mason, like properly taught out of England, and he showed me a thing or two, and just carried on from there. Love the product. So I've pretty much, I love how easy it is to work with it. And this stuff here, this was created from the ash cloud. So that's the stuff right at the bottom of the pit. The top half of it was from the pyroclastic flow. And that's why it has all the aggregates like your pumice and your metals and everything else in it. And then that's sat over the top of it. It's all compressed over time, and then.
It's a porous product, but the quarry produces both the porous product and stronger material which we can use for paving. The more porous stone is at the top of the quarry level, and as you go further down, the harder material is produced further down. This is where a large amount of that volcanic flow kind of stopped and settled. The natural markings that are formed on the stone can vary, and so every time you produce stone for a house or another type of project, it's unique. Just behind you there, you can see the pumice-based product. So you'll get formations of white and grey pumice flecks in the stone. And as another product, as you can see on the other side there, you can see that there's more of a natural, this is actually a water marking through the stone. That's where the stone has been sitting in moisture. You can see some pumice and some water markings in the stone. Very much clearer here. So pumice is the feature of the stone, but sometimes when you're cutting through, there will be a section where you've got the watermark also.
I think we've got the jewel mark, I'm guessing, in our lounge, because we've got both the pumice and the mineral markings on it.
Yep.
Be similar to that, something like that, right? Yeah.
Geology changes, so as you cut down and across in the quarry, it's never the same. 40% of the stone is actually made up out of glass shards from the volcano.
The main component or makeup of it is silica. So
Glass shards.
it's there on the technical data sheet.
Yeah. Yeah. Silica is the main component.
Yeah.
We can produce stone for most purposes, not just construction, but we've made furniture, we produce headstones. One of the beauties of having natural stone is that you can custom cut it to kind of anything that you want. Beautiful. It's good behaviour.
What's that going to be for, Chris?
It's going to be basically a former lintel piece for a fireplace, indoor fireplace.
For mine.
If you want. Yes. That's same as your stone in your house. This is the kiln-fired version.
And what are the differences?
Well, it cooks at 800 degrees for over 12 hours, and it turns it from that natural colour into the golden brown or terracotta colour of stone. That's the process. Basically baked. Assume that if anything, it would make the stone slightly harder. It's that drying and heat process.
Hinuera, today's topic, Hinuera Natural Stone. You're watching an episode of the Home on the Edge construction series, and today this home is a home on the edge of a volcano. Oh, that is a really solid piece of stone.